Hello YouTube, this is Jurassic Creations, and thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. It really does mean a lot to me. Today, we're going to be taking a look at my Jurassic Park collection. I have collected for the last 6 years now, and I'm looking forward to many more years of collecting, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we have here is just some random Jurassic Park posters and a picture of Titanic in the middle. I'm a massive fan of Titanic as well, and just history in general. You'll see that in a second. Here we have some more pictures, Jurassic Park posters, nice little metal Sinclair and Titanic sign with a Jurassic Park sign in the middle. And here is our first shelf, just kind of a bunch of miscellaneous stuff with most of my interests. And if we zoom in here in a second, we have some World War II German tanks, along with a P-51 Mustang, a Tamiya T-Rex model. There's a statue of Godzilla -1 with my custom Helldiver figure in the background, along with an Iron Studios T-Rex statue. And of course, there's a little Titanic model in the back. And to round it out, we just have some dioramas and a Freddy figure. And here's my nightstand, where I have a lot of my childhood Jurassic Park toys. And from 2K9, Jurassic Park 3, Camo Extreme, and a little bit of JP Dinosaurs. Most of these I did grow up with, and I've tried my best to keep them in very good shape. Over here is my very first repaint, which was a Plesiosaur, which I did back in, I think, 2018. And here we have some of my World War II dioramas that I've made myself, with the Yak Panther and the Panzer of the Lake. Very popular meme, I'm sure you've heard of it. Here's what I like to call my fossil stand. Up here we have some trinkets from the Jurassic Park Tribute Store, some of that Godzilla stuff in the back. Here's a little cabinet that has some fossil stuff, really hard to see, but there's my baby trike in there. And I just have a bunch of statues, like this life-size Compy that I made myself. We have a nice little fossil of a Coelophysis, and I believe it's a Chronicle Triceratops statue, along with a custom-made Helldiver statue. And underneath my fossil stand, we have the Retro Shelf. Now, this consists of the 93 Classic Collection and some retro repaints that I've done, including the Demon Carnotaurus, 2K9 Velociraptor, and 2K9 Allosaurus, which is a brand new one. And underneath that, we have a mixture of more repaints and some Beasts of the Mesozoic figures. And here we have my Lego collection, among with some other things. But mostly this is all recent Jurassic Park Lego, like the 30th collection that came out last year. And of course on the mirror I have some old vintage Jurassic Park postcards. And right here we have my Christmas tree. Since it is the Christmas season, I figured I would show off that every year I do set up a Jurassic Park style Christmas tree, which I am very happy with how it came out this year. I think it came out really good. Now, of course, I've got some vintage goodies under the tree, some new goodies, and a little Godzilla figure. And I have Jurassic themed ornaments, and I even have the ones that make sound. We'll listen to those right now. Pretty cool, huh? I have a Godzilla one, but I did not put the batteries in him, so we will not be listening to his sounds. Over here, I have a little shadow box filled with some little Lost World micro machines and just some various stuff. And I have a River Adventure poster that I got at Universal Orlando. I've been there quite a few times in the last few years. And over here we have my G.I. Joe shelf and Jurassic Park 2K9. You can see I have 2 of the Allosauruses, and I have the Pachyrhinosaurus, and I've even made a custom Awe Striker to match the one that was going to come out. And here is my Mattel Jurassic Park Hammond Collection shelf. This includes some customs, some repaints, and of course that beautiful Jurassic Park gate that I have with working electronics. And I also have a nice little vintage Jurassic Park poster back here, along with some vintage Lost World and Chaos Effect figures mint in the box, hanging right on my wall. Over here we have my Jurassic Park pin collection. Sorry about the lighting, it is a little hard to see. We have some vintage Jurassic Park buttons along with a Jurassic Park 30th anniversary sign with another Jurassic Park sign right on top. And down here we have some actual props from the tribute store. And here we have my Kenner The Lost World action figure shelf. Now, of course, this is not all of it. I have a lot more in storage, but this is everything that I can show. As you'll see, I have some noticeable ones are the Thrasher T-Rex, Bull T-Rex, and the Lost World Mobile Command Center RV, along with the elusive Sarah Harding figure and Kelly figure. Here is the main event. Before we get to that, here is a small look at my Godzilla collection I've been collecting over the last few years. And over here we just have some Mint Hammond collection stuff, some Mint Jurassic Park 2K9 stuff, and some more Hammond collection stuff over here. Now, on to the main event. This is my favorite shelf, the Kenner Jurassic Park Series 1 and Series 2 shelf, along with some merchandising above. You'll notice key rare figures like the Demon Carnotaurus, Series 2 Young Rex, Series 2 Quetzalcoatlus, the Red Rex, Young Rex, and you can see I have the McDonald's cups above along with the Dakin figures. I have a Mint Red Rex, a Gorus I unboxed on my channel, a Mint Bush Devil Tracker, JP Dinosaurs, Casosaurus, and we also have some Mint Kenner figures over here. I also have a nice illuminated Jurassic Park logo sign. Love that thing. And over here we have some Hammond Collection customs like my Spinosaurus, Hammond Collection Bracky, and some Chaos Effects stuff. And down here we just have my Jurassic Park physical media collection. And this consists of movies, VHS tapes, and video games. And that is a good look of my current display. Now, let's get into some questions. Our first question is from Marco. What is your favorite figure in your collection, and what is the worst figure in your collection? First of all, how dare you ask 2 questions? No, I'm kidding. Alright, my favorite figure has to be between either my Mint and Box Red Rex or my Jurassic Park 2K9. The worst figure in my collection? Probably that shitty rubber sword. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Marco. All jokes. It's hard to pick a least favorite figure because, me personally, I only collect figures that I know I'm actually going to enjoy. But if we had to choose, probably an unmodified Hammond Collection Velociraptor. Those things are pretty bad. it's probably the like worst in my collection, I guess you would say. But if you modify them, they look pretty good. Now, our next question is from my boy Doxson. I would love to know your humble beginning with your fascination for the Jurassic franchise, like how you were introduced to the series and how it affected your passion and especially fascination with the franchise, all leading up to your now 1,000 subscription goal mark. I've been a fan of the Jurassic franchise ever since I was probably in kindergarten, first grade. I was about 5 or 6 when I got introduced to the movies. Of course, Jurassic World wasn't a thing back then, so I was introduced to Jurassic Park. And of course, I fell in love with it because I love dinosaurs. And I got the Jurassic Park 2 QNA figures, and of course Jurassic World came out when I was in about 5th or I think it was 6th grade actually, and that just kind of fueled the fire even more. Now, I did take a hiatus from the franchise up to Fallen Kingdom, but the release of Fallen Kingdom kind of brought me back into loving Jurassic, and I've kind of been going hardcore ever since with like collecting and making content on it. I remember when I was younger, I used to make little stop motions with a very, very old cell phone. This thing was so old it had a keyboard on it, right? I made little stop motions with my Jurassic Park toys. I wish I could pull some up, but unfortunately they are just... I still have the phone, but they're trapped on the phone. I cannot get them out. But I always liked making stuff when I was a kid, and of course, when I was into Jurassic Park heavily when I was a kid, I would just sit there and I would just draw dinosaurs all day, every day, in class, at home. It didn't matter. And then, of course, as I got older, when I fell out of Jurassic Park, I started YouTube, and that was back when I was making Five Nights at Freddy's content, and that's how I got into 3D animation and stuff like that. When I got back into Jurassic, after Fallen Kingdom came out, I took the skills that I applied from doing FNAF SFM animations, and I applied it to, obviously, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and all that stuff, and that kind of spearheaded me into learning how to paint and paint action figures, and to make stop motion again with better tactics this time. I'm still using a phone, but at least it's not an old cell phone from the mid-2000s with a keyboard on it. Now, Jacob asks, or Dinoman Productions as you know him, what is your favorite Kenner Jurassic Park toy and why? That's an easy one. Red Rex, all the way. I remember when I started collecting, I obviously saw the Red Rex in photos, and this is, of course, my early years of collecting when I didn't have anything. I'll throw a picture up at the screen of what my collection looked like in, let's say, 2020. This is after a couple of years of collecting. I didn't really have much compared to, of course, what I have now. But I saw the Red Rex, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. It's a really cool T-Rex figure, and I love the red and the green and the brown and the blacks, and I just love every aspect of it, and I love how it's based off the Stan Winston maquette, and is, I believe, the closest we can get to an accurate Stan Winston / animatronic T-Rex figure, because who knows what Mattel's going to put in the next couple of years, but we'll see. So yeah, that is my favorite Kenner Jurassic Park toy of all time. Nick asks, congratulations, what was your favorite figure for 2024? Now that is a good question, because we have actually had a lot of really good figures that have come out from Mattel over the year. If we are talking not specific to Mattel, I think the best figure we've gotten this year was the Beast of the Mesozoic Allosaurus. But if we're talking about Mattel, then I would probably have to say the Hammond Collection Giganotosaurus. That figure is absolutely phenomenal, has great detail, great sculpt. It's just an overall really good figure. Now, those are all the questions I got from my YouTube, so I put a thing up on my Instagram story, see if you guys would ask me some more questions, and you did. The first question we have is Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory? Now, I liked Camp Cretaceous up until probably about the 3rd or 4th season. That's when it started to kind of taper out for me, and that's why I really didn't start to care for it. Chaos Theory had a really good start on the 1st season, and then kind of lost me in the second half of the season 2. But if I had to choose which one I liked better, I'd probably have to go with Chaos Theory, just because that 1st season was really good. The next question is, do you own the Jurassic Park 3 electronic pinball machine? I wish. That thing is really cool. I do own a handheld Jurassic Park pinball machine, but in terms of pinball machines, that's all I really have. My biggest dream for my collection would probably be having a space for everything I own, because I currently own over 1,100 figures and knickknacks and just general Jurassic Park items in my collection. But what I've shown you is probably only maybe a third or half of it, because realistically, I don't have the room for everything, although I wish I did. Now, since these all pertain to my collection, or things in my collection, I'm going to answer them on one little block here. So, first of all, the first collectible I've gotten, if we're talking the first item of my collection, would be my Jurassic Park 2K9 Battle Growler T-Rex. I've had that thing for as long as I can remember, and I could proudly say the batteries still work. And it is actually my most personal, important collectible because I've had it for so long. It's kind of what jump-started my collection. I even have a picture of me playing with it that sits on my nightstand. Now, I've been collecting hardcore since 2018. I started off with Fallen Kingdom, and that was actually, I'm only just going to get a few things, and that has kind of spiraled. The most expensive collectible I have would probably be my Chronicle Triceratops, just because of how rare it is. And fun fact, I actually got that at Universal Studios, and I think it was like the second one left, besides the display piece. And for the next collectible, I have no idea. Whatever pops up first. At least ones that I think would look nice in the collection. And the last question here is there a toy/figure from your childhood that you are still looking for? Now, if I was asked that 2 years ago, it would have been the Allosaurus from Jurassic Park 2K9, the one that came in Allosaurus Assault. But since I have that figure, if we're talking Jurassic Park toys, the only thing I would probably want would be the 2K9 Owl Mint in the box. But other than that, I have everything from my childhood that I have ever wanted, at least in terms of Jurassic Park figures. I'm sure 8-year-old me would still love a Lego Death Star, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. And that is all the questions, I believe. I would like to thank you guys so much again for 1,000 subscribers. Actually, not recording this video, we're at, I believe, 1,100 or close to it, which is insane. Absolutely insane. And I know it took me a while to get this video out because I actually cleaned my collection to show it off to you guys, because I'm not showing you guys a dirty show. But yeah, that is it for me this year. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year with some new content. Take care.